Welcome everybody. Welcome to the post week one, going into week two, spring 2025 DMFL podcast. Two brand new podcast guests with me. First we got Taha Sharif of F&F. Good to have you on the pod. And this is Taha Sharif, despite people maybe not recognizing his this week.
No beard.
Beard.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dan. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Just helping you out, so everyone recognizes you going forward. All right, this is Sammy Abu Ghosh.
Yes, sir.
All right, captain of Purple Rain. So the jerseys are fresh. Everybody's jerseys were fresh.
Yes.
Yeah, no, agreed.
That is what I like about week one a lot for sure, was the jerseys. Everyone had really nice jerseys. I like the team we played against, Black Lepato, the orange and like the GTA vibe, you know?
Yeah, they're kind of a little bit of a Steelers, but also GTA vibe. All right, so let's go into what our week one, just general 30-second overall summary or feelings. You want to start?
Yeah, I'll go first. Week one, very interesting week. Probably week one of just, obviously first two games were pretty upsets, I'm not gonna lie, because everyone had Wolf Stars winning. A lot of people had you guys winning against Chaos. So I'm sure it was interesting to see like the early week one upsets, you know. And even us in our game, we had that little scare in the first half where we almost blew it.
Yeah.
Just almost laid an egg there, but for the second half we kind of got things going. Overall, great week one, great start. On the week two, we're gonna see how that goes.
Yeah. How about you, Sam?
Yeah, honestly, just my takeaways from week one is it just reminds us that how excited that DMFL is, because like just when you think you know all the answers or who's gonna win, that life throws a surprise at you, right? So as Paul mentioned earlier, there's the upset with the Wolf Stars. They lost to the Titans, and obviously you guys with Chaos. I'm really, my favorite game personally was actually his game, FNF versus GTA or GTF, just because of the fact that it captures the essence of football. Yeah, just because when you're down doesn't mean you lost. You guys get you regroup and then you figure out a way to win. So like it really was inspirational to watch y'all's game. And then obviously Dart versus Muslimin, it was a tight game. And then as you guys talked about, you guys were on the money with Dart. Like no matter like who's out there for Dart, like Dart product in particular, their defense is always going to show out. They had a great showing out on the defensive side, and obviously with Hazem's Muslimin team, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff for them to figure out, but they got a lot of good stuff going on over there. And obviously, obviously for my team, unfortunately, I really did think we were going to win, and we didn't get the job done. But that's the whole point of like new players coming together. You learn each other, you figure out what you guys are good at and bad, and as a team we rise, and as a team we fall. It's the beauty of football. It's the beauty of football, and after week one, I was really excited to see how everything played out. And this is only week one too. We still got a full season ahead of us, and we'll see what happens in the next several weeks here.
Yeah.
So much for 30 seconds there, right?
Sorry.
Well, I think what I was really pleased about as a league organizer or someone who spent more time on this is just how competitive every game was. Mm-hmm. Nothing was easy, and that's something I told my guys after was nothing. There are going to be no gimmies, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's good for our league. I think season one, was a lot of trying things out, but there were blowouts and non-competitive games, and we did think through the committee and volunteers this year, like how can we change that? How can we fix that? And you watch week one, and it's like, whoa, probably 4 upsets, maybe 3, depending on how you categorize, and then just competitive games all over the place. Every team has someone you gotta, or multiple people you gotta worry about. And so that's exciting.
We really only had one blowout today, and that was just the last game. How Purple Rain got handed to him by Kraken.
By Kraken, yeah.
I don't know if it was a blowout, but hey, look, I mean, this is something we're looking forward to the league too. Is hey, how do we make free agent teams more competitive, right? So one thing we love from you, Sammy, already is when Hazem and I saw the leadership role you were taking. We were like, oh, we got to name Sammy captain of this team, and then you did such a good job that we were like, we should add Sammy to the committee. And that's, football is important, but that's an important part of our community and brotherhood too, right? We need leaders and we need people who are willing to step up and organize. And I think, look, you guys only had 7 players. Today you had a couple guys missing. It's week one, it was 28 degrees, all the kinds of things. And Kraken got a lot of good athletes, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So I think there's a bright season ahead, and I think people will adjust kind of as you.
Absolutely, yeah. It's only week one, and as I told my guys at the end of the game, take it with a grain of salt. It's a learning curve, and we're going to make adjustments as we need to. So I'm very optimistic about what we got going on.
All right, we are back. DMFL Season 3 Power Rankings after week one. So at number 10, we have Purple Rain. Okay, tough loss, the Kraken. Also 20 points, the biggest loss of any team so far. So right now we had them at number 10 just because like that's probably your best chance of getting a nice dub and you didn't get it done. So hopefully you guys can compete better in the future weeks. At number 9, GSOT. Yes, this is GSOT. They were ranked number 2 last time, and just because it's the way they lost, you know? Like, you can lose games, but when you get shut out, it's such a huge issue. You know, they're going to get better. They're going to work things out. But right now, currently standing, they haven't scored a point. So right now, they'll be at number 9. And I know Dan Sade will work on his team. They're going to get better. But for right now, this is where they are, unfortunately. Number 8, we have Muslimi. My squad. Yeah, we had a tough loss last week. We fought hard. It didn't matter. You know, we have a lot of new players, like I said, but I thought we were going to do better, but it just didn't happen. You know, chemistry issues and things like that. No excuses. We took an L. We took an L. And yeah, we're at number 8 right now. So from contender to maybe pretender, we got to be better. We got to play better. So 8 for now. Now, next. Number 7, Flag Theft Auto. Like, guys, this team, best jerseys of the year. Beautiful, amazing idea. Patrick did a great job with this team. As far as their play, they did good too. Like, they were actually in a 14-0 lead going against FNF, which is one of the best teams in the league. You know, so shout out to them. Bruce was playing amazing. His hips and running around. He had some guys falling. They played great, but they sold. Second half, they just fell apart. So if they can get things like on both sides of the ball for a whole game, they could be a great team. Right now, they're number 7. Number 6, we have the Wolf Stars. Okay, currently standing there 0-1. So I can't have a team that's 0-1 over a 1-0 team. So you know they played the Titans, hard-fought battle. They're down 14-0. They climb back. That shows grit. That shows they have the heart. They're a tough team to beat. But they did lose to Titans. Overall, Shuja, I feel like Shuja was getting comfortable again. You know, working with Obaid and the team and Wahaj, these guys. There's all a bunch of new players playing together in like a league 7-on-7 setting. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I think that they're going to climb from number 6, but, you know, we got to see it to believe it, though. Number 5, Kraken. 1-0 team, free agent squad. One ranked team right now in the rankings, in the standings with a high point differential. They look good. Athletes everywhere. Their quarterback was balling out, Frazier. Overall, this is a really good squad. Like, you know, usually you're a free agent team, you're like, this is an easy dub. But these guys are here to play, and they're here to compete. So, you know, they're at 5 for now, but we'll see, because now they're going to play all the regular teams, all the bring-your-own teams. So they're at a disadvantage, but if anyone can do it, it's Kraken. Next. Chaos, number 4, Mustafa Maki. These boys came to play. You know, they beat GSOT by 12-0, shut them out. Their rushing was really good. Their overall, Maki was controlling the offense beautifully, hiking the ball, taking what they give them. You know, he balled out. Isaac, one-man wrecking crew. He did his thing. I mean, he caught everything. Interception off the ground, jump ball back in the end zone, corner, pylon, end zone. He did whatever he wanted. The rush was great. This team right here is slept on, but this team can really cause some havoc. I think they will. Number 3, Dart Sports. This team, every single year, they're just somehow in a championship game. They're always just, they fill in guys, this guy over here, this guy there, and they end up, you know, slept on because I don't know why, and they end up in the championship game. So don't sleep on Dart. I mean, Papilla did his thing, post ACL tear. He did what he had to do. Jelani balled out. Now Jelani from blocker, catching the ball, no one can pull that man's flag. They had great blocking, great rushing all day, always having good defense. What Dart does is they won't lose the game for themselves, so they're gonna always be there to compete. And right now they're at number 3, but I think this is a top team for sure. Next, FNF. Okay, they were the number 1 team. Now they're at 2. Just because, like, FNF, until someone beats them, we'll see. You know, no one has beat them yet. But I just think that they look good, but, like, they look a little beatable, okay? They look like there's some cracks in the armor. They have a new quarterback. Iman's not playing quarterback so far. That could probably change. Ariel was doing his thing, but they were down 14-0 to a team we didn't have ranked that high. So obviously they didn't have Salah there. Salah's a big factor. Salah Mehdi is one of their best players. But Sammy Bradley Troop, Sammy the captain, always doing his thing. They're at number 2 right now. But obviously this team is, and you want to win a championship, you're going to have to beat these guys. So that's the thing. Number 1 team, Titans. Okay, they look great. They were a machine. We had them ranked at number 6, 7, something like that. They're at 1 now. Beat the Wolf Stars. Some said Wolf Stars were the best team in the league. Some said that. Titans took care of them. And it felt like they weren't even like, they were trying, but like they were just doing their offense. They were doing whatever they had to do. D-ball, Raw Hill, first play of the game, one-hand snag. Right from the get-go, they just came with that fire. They're going to be really, really hard to beat. Their offense is amazing. That spread offense. You have to get to Armand. You have to find ways to get to the quarterback. But they look great, man. They look great so far. So out of the first week, that's what we have for the power rankings so far. But listen, guys, things change. Life is fast. Things change all the time. So you might be ranked number 9 or 8, might be 5, 4 next week, or you might be from 1 to 4 to 3. It's all about playing. We're all gonna play each other. So we're gonna see all the matchups coming soon. That is all for now. Back to you, Dan.
All right, so week 1 game recap. 8 a.m. we got Wolf Stars versus Titans. So I think one person on the week 1 pod picked the Titans, picked the Titans. I was so impressed by them. It was clear they were not afraid. They were organized, had great chemistry, kind of like everyone noted, and they jumped on early. They jumped on Wolf Stars early with a 14-0 lead, and that was really surprising, but cool to see as well. I'm not surprised that Shuja, Wahaj, Farhan, Obey the Waste, all their guys battled back. Ended up being a bit late, but it definitely put me on notice. Like, oh wow, this is another team that is in the mix, competitive. You're gonna have to bring your best against, could win the championship. And so that was really interesting to see. What did you think about the game?
Yeah, 2 very great teams going at it. Titans, they've been around for a long time. I haven't really seen much of them playing. I only saw them back in ChatGPT in season 1, but they were a great team. Even when I played against them, I lost to them in the regular season, but we won in the playoffs because they were a little shorthanded, I think. But they were a really good team. Just the way they went up 14-0 very early against Shuja and Obey and Wahad and all them, because they got a really good squad. So I was really shocked. Whenever I first pulled it in and seen that it was 14-0, I was already thinking, okay, Wolf Stars are up, right? There's, completely slept on the Titans. I was really shocked to find out they were up. And then by the time I came into the game, or like when I started watching the game, obviously I seen Wolf Stars make their way back into the game. Then that went once I think they tied it up. It became a little shootout. Not really a shootout, but like they scored. Man, in 2014, it looked like it was about to be a shootout. The defenses both just started really like stiffening up and making key stops. I'm trying to remember a key play that I remembered was Shuja had Obeyed on a corner. I want to say he went a corner. Mm-hmm. I thought this was a touchdown pass. When the ball released his hand, I saw a touchdown pass. I think he was slightly underthrown due to the conditions, whatever it was. But it got underthrown. I think he just play was broken up. It was a big play in the game that could have easily put them over the top. There was also another key play that I remember watching. It was about, I want to say 3 minutes left in the game. Obey had a nice catch. He got a few yards to run and tried to pitch it to Farhan. Mm-hmm. And once if Farhan caught this pitch, that's a house call. He's probably gone. There was nobody in front of him. He had a clear lane. I think it would have been a huge moment in the game. Yeah. It was insane. Yeah, just one or 2 plays is what really was out of this game. It was,
What do you think about the conditions? I clearly, watching all the games through, the conditions made a difference. It was a wind chill of 28, a little bit windy, it was slick. Did you think the first game was impacted by the conditions, or what are your thoughts on Titans pulling through?
I mean, I think when you look at the conditions, everything, it definitely had an impact on all the games for that matter, whether it was the 8 a.m. or later. But I mean, I feel like that's where you separate the good teams from the elite teams, right? Mm-hmm. No matter what the conditions are, that you'll find a way to win.
Find different.
And I'm great. This is only week 1, so I mean, Wolf Stars will bounce back. I have faith they will. But it kind of shows between the Titans and the Wolf Stars that the team that for this particular week just managed the conditions better. That's what it came down to.
Yeah, I actually thought Shuja managed the conditions the best as one of the quarterback wise. I think he's the only one who wore gloves. I'm not sure if anybody.
I think Armand did too for Titans.
Did he?
I
Okay.
think he did, yes.
Yeah, and maybe that had the game with the least kind of fluttering passes
Yes.
or impacted passes. So I'm wondering if they planned for that in advance.
Also, too, it's just hard to catch the ball as well. It's hard to
Absolutely.
throw it,
There
hard
were
to
drops.
catch it.
Yeah.
There were some drops, key drops in that game.
Yeah,
In all the games, really, there were some key drops.
for sure.
I had a drop in my own game as well, so it is what it is. It happens.
That was a tough catch that was dropped on offense too. It was a sliding catch, man. It's hard for anyone to make.
No excuses. But anyways, also another play I for sure remember, it was 4th down and 1, I think, for Titans to put the game away. Just to pull Stars out of that, just put it to rest. 4th and 1, Wolf Stars, they're basically in a 0 look, no high safety, they're all in straight man, just all up on the line. And they got to Armand ended up throwing it up. I think he tried to throw a post. I think it was to Jiffy. I'm not sure who it was on the receiving end, but it was obviously way overthrown. It was incomplete. I think they were looking for a flag or a PI, whatever it was. Just a huge play in that game. It was 4th and 1. They could have easily sealed the game.
Just got a little shorter.
Just
went for the kill shot there.
For sure, went for the kill shot. Obviously, the conditions probably played a factor in the throw and play and how it all happened. But it's a huge play that kept Wolf Stars alive for at least one last drive in the game. So now on to the 9 a.m. games. We had, we had Chaos versus yours truly over here, GSOT and co. Obviously.
Oh wait, GSOT had a game today?
Hey, hey, just like how I was supposed to be here,
Yeah. Hey, I mean, first things first. All credit to Chaos. Mucky played great. We wanted to make him force him to make certain throws, and he did. Isaac's a star. We don't have to go in I don't have to talk that much about him. He made plays. He's always someone you have to focus on. Nonzo. I was the only one to mention him in the preseason podcast. He's a defensive player of the year for a reason. He really impacts games.
Yes, sir. Chaos 1-0. See you guys next week.
Oh, no, I want a little blip.
Go ahead.
Look, hey,
Go ahead.
I watched the podcast and I felt disrespected that I was not mentioned that I'm the reigning DPOY. I came out here and showed you why I'm reigning DPOY. So put some respect on my name. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
I think that especially, so we played him twice in the fall too, against Dart, but on a full field. He's a great rusher no matter what, but on a full field, there's certain things you could do. You could throw it out wide, you could have the quarterback roll out all the way to kind of neutralize him a little bit. In this condensed field format, if he's getting on you with his length and he's rushing up the field, he had, I think, 2 or 3 batted balls. He's getting in passing lanes, so he really impacted the game. And then, I was so impressed by Daniel Tukby. I hadn't seen him play before. As league organizer, from multiple captains, I got text, hey, I want the Tukby Bros. I want the Tukby Bros. And I was like, well, they can't be on 4 teams. So what's going on? They must really see something. And defending him, just the way he takes up space, I think he's explosive. I think he has good hands, and he's still young. He still has a lot of raw potential. So I'm excited to see what he has in store. He had a big catch that got called back on a penalty, but I think he made an impact.
Was he the one that made the catch like this?
Over,
yeah.
And it was good coverage.
I was wondering who that was. I'm
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I don't know his name, but he just made one of the craziest catches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He just.
And then they did a great job, right? So credit to them first and foremost. And then from our end, it starts with me as a captain. I didn't have our team prepared to play. Any loss, that's my fault first and foremost. Don't think I had the team prepared for the conditions well enough. You can't score. You can't win with 0 points. That's a fact in most sporting events. There were spots where we either had a mental mistake, physical mistakes we can live more with, but then just randomness too. Like Harris's flag got blown by the wind on a 4th down, and he was a touch player, and he ran into the end zone. And it's like, okay, maybe it's not your day on one of those. I didn't. On a 4th and 10, I ran 9.5 yards. That's my fault. My foot was out of bounds on that catch. So the first question is, where can I be better? And then once we get to watch the film, where can we be better as a team? This is the third season in a row now. We've lost our first game. That's a reflection of me first and foremost. But we bounced back in those seasons too, and that's something that we need to do. Sometimes the loss is okay. Some humble pie, gets you motivated. I feel like I've learned more in a handful of losses than I have over hundreds of wins, and so it's painful right now. The fact that we signed up to do this podcast and I still have to do it, I'm like, all right, well, I can't back out. It's tough, but that's the kind of thing. You go home, hug your family and kids, and then of course come back to it later.
Hey, the way I see it, y'all picked up right where you left off from last season against Dart in the second.
Yeah, 0 points and then 0 points.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem if we continue to do that. I can assure you that. But I have confidence in our team, and I'm excited to see what the rest of the season brings. For sure.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sammy?
I mean, you have to look at. I mean, it's only week 1, so there's a lot of room for improvement from both sides. But I was also really surprised because I had you guys winning as well. But when I saw you had 0 points, I just when I walked in, I was like, oh, GSOT's winning, and they're like, no, it's chaos. It's the other team. I was like, no way. And then as you're watching the game, it's crazy because they were Monkey was making a lot of good throws, making a lot of smart decisions. Isaac, like we talked about earlier, he's a beast. They got a great solid team, and again, when I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's just another team that could potentially win it all if all the chips fall their way,
Right.
I mean, that's what week 1 to me ultimately it really showed me. Really, any of these teams, all it takes is one good game from a team collective effort. They can make some noise.
Yep.
So.
All right. So 10 a.m. game, Flag Theft Auto versus FNF. What'd you think about the game, Sammy?
Man, oh my God, this is like I mentioned earlier. This was by far my favorite game of the week. Obviously, I have a lot of love for FNF. I know those guys. I play with them every Sunday, so of course I was rooting for them. But yeah, let's just talk about the first half first. I was very shocked about what I saw, just because when I see them play, and I know those guys really well, it took me by a shock about how the game went. It looked very one-sided. They were down 12-0 at the half. I'm not gonna lie, a guy that caught me by surprise was actually Patrick, believe it or not. How involved he was in the offense, and they gave him the rock a little bit. He was distributing. He contributed a lot. And then Bruce, the way he oh my God, he's such a runner, man. When he uses his legs, man, he's a hard guy to stop, man. I was actually really surprised that at least for that first half in particular, they couldn't contain him with his legs. So I thought, man, if they don't make some noise pretty fast, they're screwed. They're cooked. Yeah. They're definitely cooked. And obviously, FNF, my biggest takeaway from them, at least from the offensive side, they were moving the ball. They just couldn't punch it in. And obviously, like we mentioned earlier, the conditions probably played into the factor as well. But there was a lot of throws that were missed or plays that weren't on the board because of that. Yeah. So that's how it went in the first half. Literally, second half, I really felt like I was watching a completely different team. Literally in my head, I was like, FNF is the type of team. They're one play away from turning this around, and sure enough, that's what happened. Bruce threw not 1 but 2 picks of ball, and obviously those picks really helped them with field positioning, and then just helping Ariel and the rest of the game get into a groove. But I really want to get more into the play of the game. It was when Patrick lateraled it and then Ariel broke it up.
We're about to get to that. We're about to get to that play. All right. So I think to start the game, I was surprised to see FNF down 2 scores.
Agreed. 100%. Very shocked by that.
Bruce, super impressive, elusive, good throws, extending plays, and Flag is hard to cover for long periods of time. I thought they did a good job. Flag Theft Auto with their line. Khaled had a good game. I thought they were doing good pitches, getting into their athletes. I thought Lonnie had a couple nice catches. But all right, it's 12-0. And Flag Theft Auto was about to get the ball coming out of the half. Talk to me about what's the halftime speech? Who's talking in the huddle? Who's the leader? What's being said?
Our leader was definitely our captain. It was Sammy. He was talking to us in the huddle. He just got us together. He's basically saying hey, we're playing sloppy. We're being lazy. We're not pulling flags. We need to be more disciplined. Once we clean that stuff up, there's nothing to worry about. We'll get it rolling.
Okay.
There's just be nothing to worry about. Just keep on playing. Don't even worry about the scoreboard. Mm-hmm. Just keep going.
All right, and then they get the ball, and they drive down, and they're maybe 10 yards away from scoring, And if you get up 3 scores in the second half of DMFL, it's a wrap.
It's rough. It's
about
rough.
to be a wrap.
Yeah.
And then you come to play. So tell us what happens.
I was honestly just shocked that Bruce threw it up like that. I don't know. For me, I was just very shocked that even happened because I was like, I think we said 3 on that play.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, it was, at that point you're up 12-0. You don't want to make the losing play. But he kind of just threw one up, and for me, I'm like, there's no way this ball's in the air forever, you know. So as it's in the air, the wind's like playing with this, so I'm like trying to track it down, and the ball's going back and forth with me, you know. So that's why I bobbed it a line, couldn't really track it like how I wanted to. But just I was shocked that that's what happened. Obviously, I made the play, and then just try to take advantage of what we can, and what the opportunity gave us. Got a little scary there with those pitches though in that play because we pitched the ball a lot. When it got called back to the forward pitch, but it easily we could have pitched it away.
Way worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse, but a big play, and then obviously after that we hit Hassan deep on Ariel hit him deep on a
Man.
Well, I think it was a go, and he might have go. He twirled like
that deep ball, that 30, 40 plus yard play.
It was deep.
Yes.
Let me tell you. So let's take basketball, right? There are good players. I don't know how are you guys NBA heads?
Oh yeah, we love the NBA.
So there's Kate Cunningham. There's I don't know. Name someone on the Mavs that's still on the Mavs.
There's still like Spencer Dinwiddie.
Okay,
right?
he's a good. Sure, he's a good.
Like there's good players, and then there's just players that are next level, right? Like
Okay.
even on the Lakers, there's Austin Reeves, but then there's LeBron and Luka.
That's exactly right. And the ability for someone to take over a game, especially as a non-quarterback, a position player, you have to be at that level that like very few people are at. That Steph Curry, that LeBron James. In football, for you to be a player that takes over or impacts games like that as a position player, that's Randy Moss, that's Tyreek Hill, that's Micah Parsons, right? It's like that level of player.
Game-changing players.
Hassan Mahmoud is that type of player.
Yes.
Oh,
He is.
dude,
He is that type of
1000%.
player.
Absolutely, yes.
For him to not only have that TD, but he takes that lateral, fakes out Bruce, and scores,
yes,
right?
yes.
That's someone that can single-handedly take over and change a game at non-quarterback. I was just blown away. I was like, when I first met Hassan, I thought obviously he was good, right? And then you see him be OPOY, right? He's gonna do that celebration, OPOY, right? He catches 10 touchdowns, DMFL record. And then you see performances like this where it's like, oh, my team is losing 12-0, I got this, right? I was just so blown away by that. So props to him, props to you for getting those key interceptions. But I agree with you too that I think y'all won the game. Y'all took it, and you're an experienced team, and you didn't get flustered. But I thought that also gave away.
No, 100%. You're up 12-0. You're in a position like that. You just make the smarter plays. You don't have to go on and win it. You just don't lose it.
Yeah.
But to be honest, that's what happened. Unfortunately, and I talked to Patrick a little bit after the game. He knew he made that mistake with the lateral and everything. But I told him, you guys, despite the fact that that game ended like that, they played well.
I was impressed. They're going to be competitive.
That's exactly what I told him. I said, you guys are going to be competitive, and there's just some things they can clean up, and they'll be competitive. They'll be okay.
Just goes to show how competitive this league's going to be this season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
All right, 11 a.m. Muslimeen versus Dart. Dart pulls out a tight win. So preseason pod, I thought this game would be low scoring. I didn't know it was going to be 28 degrees. It was clear to me that Hazem's throwing was impacted by the conditions. Like he couldn't get a feel for the ball. The ball wasn't driving. It was like sputtering a little bit. So I don't think I'm going to judge too much on.
Of course you can't. You like with any of these formats you can't.
But Dart's defense is legit, right? There are athletes everywhere. Ibby is just. I know we don't keep track of flag pulls because it's like impossible. But he's going to lead the league in flag pulls.
I think you can even make the argument that Dart is going to probably end the season with the best defense.
Possibly. They might allow the least points scored. There was also a little bit of chemistry, I think, that is going to need to develop for Muslimeen, right?
Yeah.
A lot of jump balls. I don't think there was that. They don't. Some of the receivers don't know Hazing and vice versa. So that's that's Muslimin on offense. What did y'all think of Papia's performance? Dart on offense.
I think despite the conditions impacting everyone, I thought Papia played some winning football. He didn't make any losing plays. He took care of the ball, and he made the best throws he could in every given situation. I thought he played. And remember, a lot of people forget he is coming off an ACL injury, pretty big injury, so he's still kind of getting his feet under him. So the fact that he was able to make some of the throws he was, and be calm and collected, I was actually impressed by Papia. I actually liked what I saw, and keep in mind, the more time goes by, his injury's he's only gonna get better.
Yeah.
He's only gonna get better.
Think about Papia, he doesn't even try to play hero ball. For him, he's just trying to get the offense rolling. He doesn't need to throw it 30 yards down the field to be the guy he's not trying to be Superman.
Mm-hmm.
He just takes what defense gives him. He's very very efficient with his decision making. He also really good at making rushes miss with his hips.
Mm-hmm.
Just to buy himself a little more time just to be able to flip it off and
Yep.
get him to do their thing. But Papia is very like I said, he doesn't play hero ball. He does what's best for the offense, what's best for the
He's
team.
efficient.
He's very efficient, yes.
And he uses the guys around him, which I like.
Yeah, I was very impressed. I hadn't seen him play since he's been back, right? I just heard how is he moving? That's kind of the question. I thought he looked good.
Yeah. He
He
looks
told
fluid.
me, that he's coming off this major. I would have said I don't notice it, right? He might think it, people might feel it, but he had hips that made people miss. Couple key runs to end the game, for example. He didn't look flustered, right? I thought he looked like himself, which is big, right? Because you have Moise, you have Hamza, you have all these people rushing, right? These are good rushers, and so if you're flustered, I don't think you're. I didn't see any back foot throws. I don't think the conditions impacted him that much. I didn't see any balls sputter or anything, and I kind of liked it because the dude's a competitor, right?
Yes.
He's out there to win, and even in his post game podcast answer, you could tell a little bit he took this personally, and he wanted to win, for the team, but also hey, I'm here, I'm one of the best guys in this league, I'm a competitor, I'm gonna show up. So I respect that, and I appreciated seeing that. What do you think the next steps for Muslimin are?
For sure, I think their defense is solid. I think Kazim was right about his defense for sure. They allowed 13 points. Yes, obviously it was the conditions, it was mainly the defensive day, but I like what I saw in his defense. I think, just like we said before, they need to get something going on offense. They need to find a rhythm. They need to practice. They need to just get it together, just figure something out on offense to do. And it obviously starts with the QB. Maybe use his legs more, run. I've seen opportunities in the game where I thought, he could have took it off and ran that on his own and gotten a lot of yardage,
Mm-hmm.
But Hamza's he's a great player. He's obviously always going to figure it out. He's always going to be competitive, always find a way to make him in the mix, and just be competitive, always trying to go for championship.
I mean, they could have won.
Easily, yeah.
This was a game. I felt like this was probably one of the games of like the others, particularly this game. Though, it really could have gone either way.
Oh yeah.
Really, one or two plays away, it could have gone Muslimin's way. So it's not like they lost in a blowout or they got handed. No, it just came down to the plays going more of Dart's way. And obviously Muslimin, they just got some chemistry stuff they got to work on with Oz and wide receivers. And I mean, throughout the season, we'll see how they progress. But yeah, definitely, like Thal was saying, just maybe for them, they just got to maybe practice more of the chemistry and identify more of their offense. What do they want to run? And I think Hazem, we all see how Hazem runs. He's quick, man.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna embrace that. Don't be afraid to use your legs from time to time. It will help out the offense. It's gonna open a lot of things up.
And his receivers are gonna definitely appreciate him because what Hazem did a lot today was give him a shot.
Yeah.
He was giving all the receivers a shot, even though the guys we didn't know, the new guys, he gave them jump opportunities. He was airing
And
it out.
even on that jump ball, that last one, Moise and I'm not sure it was Bilal who was the other. It was one of the other tall guys. They actually ran into each other.
Yes.
One of them was about to catch it.
Yes.
So they just got to figure out some chemistry. But I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think so too. Hazem's gonna do his thing, give his receivers a shot. As a wide receiver, it's always the best thing when you know a quarterback can trust you.
All right, noon, still 30 degrees, but Kraken versus Purple Rain. So Kraken gets the win, 26-6. Now I was the only one that predicted them on the preseason, but also I'm the only one who knew probably anyone on their team. Their athleticism showed. First put the ball up a couple times and people went to go get it. So, I think Purple Rain They also were you guys were missing a couple guys.
Yeah,
Only
for
had 7 today. What did you see from the game?
What I saw was, definitely Kraken was they came out the field, came on the field, showed they were the better team. They had the better athletes. All around, it's a better team in my opinion. Obviously, their receivers, number 4 specifically, his name was Aaron. He might have another case for Tyreek Hill over here, you know, because he made a couple of big plays and he was taking it down the sideline. Yeah, he had a couple of picks as well, right?
Yeah, he had a pick. I think Zayd had a pick. Farhan BG, he had good plays at corner, and but I do want to ask you though, Sammy. So first drive of the game, right? Kraken gets the ball. You guys basically got to stop.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
And there's a roughing the passer. And that really changed the complexion of the game, in my opinion, right? Because if you get a stop, you're right down there. I think it was like you were going in to score after getting that INT on a 4th down. But basically, it kind of went downhill after that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The thing was, on my particular drive before that call, I was kind of proud of myself because, I'm a first-time captain and everything, so it was kind of cool for me to, distribute like my leadership skills and try to set the team. And especially a lot of stuff happened, right, off the field, so I had to try to organize the best way possible. So just the way those few plays on that first drive was going, I was like, oh crap, I might have cooked here. But then obviously the rough and the passer play got called, and obviously like you said, everything went downhill and we broke down, and we made a lot of switches throughout the game, which I think my biggest takeaway from that was whatever adjustments and depth perception, in terms of lineup management I made, I should have just kept throughout the game and just really played it out. But it definitely impacted the game for sure, as well as obviously some of the turnovers we had and our lack of stops after that. But the way I see it, it's a team collaborative effort. There's a lot of things we could have done better, from the defensive plays we gave up. Obviously offense, we didn't have really a good identity, so that's just something we're gonna have to really dial in on. No, absolutely, yeah. And we're only getting started, so we as a team, we talked about it. It's week 1. Don't really focus too much on the wins and losses, but let's get ourselves to a competitive level, consistent, where we have a good foundation.
It's a process.
Exactly, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, it's hard to win with just 7 guys, right? That's the minimum you need out there, and it's gonna take a little bit of time, right? Yes, it's free agency versus free agency, but someone has to win the game.
Absolutely,
but it's also not indicative of what. And let's be real, right? It wasn't 50-6 or anything like that. It was 26-6. And it easily could have turned, if that roughing the passer doesn't happen, 1 or 2 plays flip, and you have a really tight game. So y'all do play Kraken again later in the season. So looking forward to that. And
absolutely, man. So am I, for sure.
We'll see how it goes.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
All right, time to preview week 2. First game, April 13th, 8 a.m. Muslimin versus Kraken. What are your thoughts?
I think this is definitely Muslimin's bounce back game. This is where they make a statement. I think they're gonna take out their anger from this week on them. they're gonna give us one pretty good. If I'm gonna give a score, I'll probably say I think Gazan in the offense put up over 30 points this week.
Okay.
I'll say over 30. I'll say the score will probably be 33-6.
Okay.
But I think they'll really bounce back this week. And I think Kraken will probably get a little humbling this week.
Okay.
They're probably riding high right now. We beat Purple Rain. We scored 4 touchdowns. I think this week it'll be humbling for sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. So this year the committee implemented a rule, and it'll be the first time we'll get to see this rule, is that free agent teams get the ball in both halves. And part of that is competitive balance, right? So we haven't had a free agent team beat a bring your own team yet, but maybe this is the year, right? We took a lot of steps to try and make sure every team was, we don't got to worry about FNF being competent, right? We were trying to make sure that squads that had certain issues, whether it's snapping or not knowing each other in advance, try to bridge that gap as much as possible. So maybe this an extra possession will make a difference here or there, right? One more possession, you can throw it to Aaron. You can do a host of things. How do you think the game's going to go?
Honestly, I think because of the new rule, I think it can help Kraken out a little bit more. Now, just like I agree, I think Muslimin is going to bounce back and they'll win this game. But I think they'll score multiple touchdowns, to be honest. I think it will be a better game than what most people think. I still think it will be pretty decisive. Mm-hmm. But just like also, I do agree. I think Muslimin will put up 30 points, but score-wise, I'm thinking like 34-12.
Oh, that's so funny. I was literally going to say 35-13.
Yeah. I do think Kraken, like, I think with the extra, it could make a difference, honestly.
Yeah.
It really could. And they do have players. I think if Frazier just, puts the ball in the right guy's hands, they can make a play or two.
Yeah.
I think they can. So 34
Did he have any interceptions today?
No.
No.
Okay, yeah, so he has to protect the ball, Frazier does. I think Heisman's going to have a game.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's too much of a competitor. He's too good of a player and athlete to have back-to-back games. I already checked the weather for next week. It's supposed to be 70 degrees.
Oh,
yeah. And so I think that's going to be a little bit different in terms of throwing the ball. He's going to meet up with his receivers. They're going to work over stuff. And now Kraken has a lot of good athletes. They do have some good flag players too, some experienced players, but some players who haven't played as much flag either. So when you play a team as experienced as Heisman, sometimes that is going to start to show. And some of this is just like, Kraken's gonna be riding high, right? A lot of them haven't played this league. Somebody might think, oh, is this how it's gonna be every week? But you got to bring your A game every week. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Also, just side note, just to compare to that, actually season 1 when I played replacements with Shuja, Wahaj, Farhan, I think we played against one of the free agent teams in week 1. And for me, obviously, it's my first time playing with flags, seeing any of these guys. So I kind of run that high mode. We destroyed it. It was like 40-6. I forget what the score was. But I was overthinking, like, this is how it's going to be every single week. Dude. We won the league, This is a, so I thought this was a joke, kind of, Like, there's no way this is the competition level.
Yeah.
But that's probably what Kraken's probably going to go through as well. So we're going to see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
So if FNF loses, quarterback change? No, I'm kidding.
All right, 9 a.m. We got Titans versus Chaos. Very, very interesting matchup. Two teams that are riding high. How do you see things breaking down?
This is a tough one because just like Salah called out the upset last week with Chaos over you guys, I can very well see it going this way as well. At the same time, Titans being such a powerhouse, being a really good team that they'll be expected to see. Like, I'm sure they're probably like the new favorites to win it all now. Just because of how they're performing as Wolfstars, who's supposed to be another favorite team. That's supposed to be up there. But I don't know, because I think it's just for Chaos, it's going to be how far Mucky can take them. That's what matters. How Mucky plays is going to determine if they win or lose or how the game goes. Because this team, I feel Chaos, they're a really good team. They'll go as far as Mucky takes them. And I think Mucky's a very talented QB, but it's going to be on him because I know he has some knee problems as well. But for him to still power through and still make the throws he can make and still lead a team, it's very unbelievable to see.
Yeah. That's something that I didn't comment on too. Like, that's real toughness right there. Playing through that. So kudos to Mucky for playing that well and in the freezing cold.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a Lakers fan. He's about that Kobe mama mentality. That's not what he's living with.
Exactly,
How do you see the game going, Sam?
Man, honestly, we got two great teams going out. I feel like you can't go wrong either way. But honestly, if I have to choose, I'm picking the Titans, man.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie. Them being Wolfstars like that, they have me sold, man. It's one of those. I'm gonna ride with them until they give me a reason not to, man. In terms of like their momentum, and as you guys have mentioned, they have history together. They have chemistry. I think this team, from what I saw from them, they want it bad. They really do. They're disciplined. And they just know what to do at the right moments, man. So even though Chaos did get a big win against GSOT last week, I think this will be also an opportunity for them also as well as like test them to see like how does Chaos go against a team like that and other Titans. So I'm gonna go Titans. I think it's gonna come down to the wire. I think I'm gonna go as far as it's gonna be by like a couple of points. It's gonna be nitty and gritty. I'm gonna predict a weird score. I got 2019.
2019.
I got 2019 Titans. That's my score.
Who do you got? What's the score?
I'm actually gonna roll with the Salah special here.
Okay.
I'm gonna have the upset alert with Chaos. Believe it or not, because like I said, I just believe Mucky will get the job done. He'll lead his team. He'll keep them all gathered, keep them in unity. So I'll give them the win. I'll say it's gonna be. I can see a low-scoring defensive game here as well. I'll give it let's go 18-13.
18-13.
Okay, that's a good score. What about you, Dan? Tiebreaker, who you got?
All right, so I think this game's gonna be a little bit more spread out. Weather's gonna be nice. So I'm really interested to see from a matchups perspective a couple things. One is what's Nonzo's impact on the game gonna be? Titans play a little more laterally, right? They play a little more spread. So he's not gonna have a field of a rush. He's gonna have to be more lateral. how is that going to impact? Is he still going to get deflections? Is he still going to be able to get sacks, right? Or is it going to be a Stuffy game where Stuffy the more impactful rusher, right? So I think top to bottom, Titans are probably a better team, but if you told me the two best athletes on the field at any time in that game are Isaac and Daniel Tukti, I think people might believe that, right? And so I think that does give them a pretty solid chance. Titans just beat Wolfstars, so I'm not going to pick against them, but I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a little bit higher scoring. So I'll go 27-21.
Okay.
Titans. But I'm picking against Chaos, who just smoked us. So that's if Titans won.
Yeah, there's a little bit of bias in your answer.
Oh no! If anything, I want to give Chaos credit, but I think this matchup too. When you're going to look at the end of the season standings, you're definitely going to look at this matchup and say, "Wow, that was a key.
That was a key game.
That was a pivotal game."
We already got a few of those in week 1, so
Yeah. No breaks.
Yes.
Yeah, gas no.
All right, 10 a.m. Game of the week.
Ooh.
Game of the year, maybe.
Easily potentially game of the year.
F&F versus Wolfstars. All right, there is rivalry here. There is pride on the line. There are brother against brother over here. Sammy, you play Grapevine.
Oh my God.
Every Sunday. You see these guys.
Yes.
Right? I want to hear your thoughts on this game.
Man, this is the most anticipated game I'll ever watch, in a while, man. But there's definitely history there. I think both teams, Doc can agree with me when I'm a few things about to say. Both teams definitely have something to prove. They want to beat that other team so bad. I know F&F wants to beat Wolfstars, and I know Wolfstars wants to beat them. Obviously, we're essentially looking at half of Wolfpack on one side and the other half on the other, right? So this is more how I look at it is more of maybe they're not saying this out loud, but this is more of who are the most impactful players on either side, So I think there's going to be a statement proved to be here. I think that they were all brothers. That's the most important thing. That we all on both sides they do love each other. We're all Grapevine, we're all everyone, but at the same, like you said, there's something to prove, and it would be nice for either side to get the dub on each other, right? I don't think there's the amount of words I can put out there that can magnify this game even more.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna be pissed. I'll leave it at that. Whoever loses, they're gonna be pissed for sure, and not for the right reasons.
Alright.
But let's get into the predictions, man. Honestly,
got?
I'm gonna be straight up. I actually have Wolfstars win this game, believe it or not.
I do. Right.
I do.
What type of style of game and what score you got?
Okay, so this is gonna be a shootout, 1000%. I think wire to wire. I think you're gonna see an offensive, as close to offensive perfection potentially.
Oh, interesting.
Because the IQ will be there on both sides. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be chess. It's gonna be black versus white chess game right here. From the offensive standpoint, I think plays will be made. I think stats will be piled on. Now, you're asking what the score is. I'm going to go bold. I think they're both going to get to the 30s.
Oh.
Right? Again, maybe too bold, but I'm going to go bold here. I think both teams get in the 30s, man. I think this could go one of two ways. Either a shootout, like I just said, or it could potentially be another defensive game. I think shootout. Score, it's going to be a one-possession game for sure. I think regardless of how it's going to go, it's going to be a one-possession game. I'm going to go as far as to say there will be a controversial call. I think it's... I definitely think something crazy is going to happen.
The big organizers are just like...
No, I definitely think something crazy is going to happen. I just have this feeling... Okay, but let me get to the score. I'm going to say something like 36-32. Wolfstars.
Wow. All right, Sharif. The group chats are going to be lit this week. What's your mindset? What's going on in your head for this game?
Well, I think not only for me, but I think for my team as well. I think obviously this is viewed as a big game, potential game of the year, game of the week. But we're probably just I'm going to give you a boring answer here because this is what we actually think. But we're just going to view it as another week of, it's just a opponent in front of us.
This man is media trained.
I'm sorry to interject, but I know it's a boring answer, but I know deep down, I know that's a load of crap. I don't even think you believe a word you're saying.
No,
I'm sorry, I don't believe it.
Well, regardless, because obviously we want to win. Like you said, pride's on the line. We definitely want to beat them for sure. Yes. But this is a week 2 game, very early in the season, If anything, we want to see these guys again later on,
Oh,
so
sure.
this is a game right now. Obviously, we want to win. We're trying to get through it. Obviously, we just want to get through healthy. Just have a good game. Obviously, they're like our brothers. They're brothers up there on that other side. So it's a good, clean game.
What about like a key matchup? What do you think is a key matchup that's going to decide the game?
Key matchup? Well, I think for sure them not having Josh in the game is gonna. I think they're gonna feel that because Josh is just such a game changer on his own. You saw last season how he did in our game.
Best tips and dips in the league.
Yeah, he scored all 3 touchdowns against my Free Palestine team last year. And that would hurt. But not having Josh in there is a big player not to have. So I think with him being absent, they will feel it for sure. Big matchup though for sure is I think it's going to be on the rush. How's the rush going to be for each side? How are we going to rush Shuja? How are they going to rush Ariel? I think the rush is where the game's going to matter most. I think everything up on the line, that's going to be the difference maker for sure, depending on how that plays.
I'm really interested to see how Wolf Stars matches up with Hassan and you. So they, Wolfpack and then Shuja's guys, they're some of the smartest flag football players that was around. I try and hear what they have to say. I try and learn from them. They do something, I'm like, oh, why are they doing it, right? What do they know? Something that's worked against Wolfpack in the past is jump balls, right? That's your alley, right? Do they have someone that can contest you consistently, right? What's their plan for that? I'm interested to see. I'm also interested to see, Hassan's one of the best route runners in the game, right? If they contain Ariel, they can prevent Hassan from really getting into his spin cycles, his corner post, his bag, as the kids say. But if Ariel is able to escape the pocket, I could see some long bombs.
Yes.
Tried to either one of y'all. So I think that the fact that they do know each other so well, it tends to mean like a low-scoring game. But because there's so many athletes and IQ on the field, I kind of think it's going to be a middle-scoring game. Like I think it's going to be like I think both teams are going to score 3 times. And it's going to come down to conversions. So I think it'll be a 21-20 game. I'm going to go with Wolf Stars. And the reason I'm going to go with that, honestly, has to do with week 1. Wolf Stars does not want to be 0-2, right? And I think they're going to be desperate. I think it's an important game for you. I think y'all want to win. Now, if you were 0-1 and they were 1-0, honestly, I would predict y'all. It's just
the fact that when you lose week, a good team like that loses, you do not want to lose again.
And some of it's some elements of like big brother versus little brother here. If it's like you and Hassan, and I know you guys got experienced guys too, obviously with Sammy, Ariel, and Salah. I'm interested to see, is there going to be some trash talk on the field?
Oh, they're probably
Salah is going to be chirping a little bit.
There'll be a lot of hugs out there.
Obey the way hugs. There's going to be a lot of male bonding on the field, man. I mean, this is a game that we're definitely going to have to, tell the refs, like, it's going to be
pretty chirpy out there.
It's going to be fiery.
Really enforce the new cursing rule.
Yeah. Hey, on that note, I'm so glad no flags for cursing, no flags for conduct today. So that's a win.
Yeah, no, that is a dub. Everyone's composed.
Yeah, good. But yeah, hey, I'm super excited for this game to be locked in, and honestly, just to learn from this game. Every time I watch both of these teams, a lot of these guys, I'm out there learning. So I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
And I can really tell you one thing for sure. You said you're curious on how they're gonna play this, right? I can really tell you one thing I know for a fact. They're probably gonna play like 30 yards off of me like usual. Like I see that on
no jump balls for ball.
I see that on Sundays. I've seen that in the past. When I played against them, they're super far off. They know. I'm not running after catch guys. They're like, we'll give you all the yards underneath. You can have that.
This is gonna probably be the one game. I'm generally not rooting for everyone because those are my guys, the grapevine guys. So I just want to see some good ball. Also. Yeah. That's all I want to say.
I don't have a rooting interest. I'm rooting for good. As my dad used to say, I'm rooting for good plays.
No, literally, man. I get my popcorn right down. Yeah.
Also, too, I would blame you guys for picking against us because as a team, we only showed up for one half. We took one half off, and we only came to play for one half. So we haven't proved that we can put it all together yet.
Facts.
So I can see why y'all picked against us for sure. But obviously, for me, I can't go against my team.
Yeah.
No, you can't. That's that juju out there.
For sure. Yeah.
They're gonna cook you in the group chat because it's on us.
All right, 11 a.m. game. We got Greenwich on turf versus Purple Rain.
Oh yeah, baby.
So we're gonna go to talk about it. Since we're not going to be as objective.
Can this game like get canceled somehow or get like does not happen? Because this is gonna be.
Oh come on, bro.
I'm sorry, bro.
Give
This
it
probably
a
just right
chance.
here in front of my face, but Purple Rain. I'm sorry, man. Like I don't know.
That's terrible.
It's literally y'all are gonna be out there just doing cardio.
Oh,
while,
wow.
while
Okay,
GS
come on,
While
man.
GSOT routes it on.
Oh, man.
All right, I do ask one thing.
There's a lot of pressure over here.
I can see this game being like last year's game with Wolfpack against who was it Coexist when they put like 60.
No.
or something.
I don't think nah,
I see
bro. Y'all being disrespectful.
That's crazy.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
So you think they're
Alright,
gonna
so
get the 60s?
what's your official prediction?
My prediction is they're gonna run all over Purple. Y'all gonna run all over Purple Rain. Y'all will for sure hit the 50s. I expect a shutout. I don't see y'all even scoring a point. If I'm being honest.
Wow.
Alright.
If I'm being honest here, this is gonna be a
Do you want to
game.
play FNF this week instead? Yeah.
I think we clock out of this game by half.
Maybe FNF gets blown. Hopefully you guys get blown out.
I don't think that direct of a prediction has ever happened on a podcast here. But all right, a couple things. That's way too much respect for GSOT so far. We have proven nothing this year. We have a total of 0 points this season. I think we're going to bounce back. I think that we're going to get a couple guys back. I don't think the conditions are going to make as big of a deal. But if we think that we can sleepwalk through the game and win, that's not the case because Sal's got an arm. He can move. I think Sammy's leadership is really solid. PJ's a good athlete and jump ball guy. Did you see Abuzar's catch today? His
Yes.
touchdown catch? That
Yes.
was a crazy sick touchdown
Yeah,
catch.
he's a dog, man. He's a
That's
dog.
something
I love that guy.
I did not see that. I did not know he had that in his bag. That was very impressive.
You got tackled that one, right?
Yeah, he did got tackled.
Yeah.
He still scored.
You got pile drive.
Yeah.
What do we got?
And they're gonna get the ball first in both halves, right? So there is
Exactly.
just from like a logistical standpoint, like we gotta lock in.
Yes.
Look, I'm not gonna be objective. Like I think we're gonna bounce back. I think we're gonna get the win, but it's not gonna be like
Listen,
that.
dealing with a team like that and dealing with a rusher like EJ. Now I know, I know Salah has had his comments about EJ in the previous podcast, but EJ, whenever he's on, he's on. He can rush. He'll get after Simon for sure.
EJ is easily one of the most impactful players in the DMFL indoor. He's very solid. So obviously he's the guy. When I look at him across the field, he's not a guy. It's fun going against him.
Yeah.
I think Harris for sure. Like he for sure wants to bounce back, and he's gonna be angry about this game as well. He's gonna want to bounce back and for sure, have a day for himself and
So what's the score, Dan? What you got against my team?
Man, I'm thinking like 28-6.
28-6. All right.
you were being too humble.
I mean, hey,
Yeah, you never know what could happen.
I mean, we got to put something on tape. We got to prove it before
That's
I can
true.
Right.
talk.
But you're basically telling me that you're gonna do what Kraken did to them today.
I mean, hey, I guess we'll see. I'm not in the business right now.
I don't think he's going to complain of Otters throwing 4 touchdowns if that happens.
That's true. That's also true. How do you think the game's
All right, man. I think the game's gonna go. I definitely think there will be improvement for sure on my side, just because there were things that played out. Like there were things that I liked, and then obviously after week 1, there were things I like as a team we didn't like at all. But we're gonna talk about those things. We're gonna fix it, and then we are gonna have more of our guys this week. So that this coming week, so that is a good part. His cousin Omar Sharif is a playmaker and a great rusher, so we'll have that. We have a guy named Hamza. He's pretty quick and he's got good hands. So I will say that for this coming week, we'll have more of our guys out there. It will be definitely a more competitive game for us than last week for sure. My prediction is just improvement, man. We're just
There you go.
we're improving. I'm not gonna put a score or what he's gonna win.
You gotta give us something, bro.
I did give you something. I said my prediction is improvement.
It's about the process, man. It's about the process.
I want to hear him say that Purple Rain's gonna beat GSOT.
I mean, anything could happen. Anything could happen.
If we play like we played today, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any given week, right?
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna give you the boring answer too.
All right. Noon, Dart versus Flag Theft Auto. I think preseason going into, I think people now have a little bit of a different thought on Flag Theft Auto. That's good. That's a good thing for the league. We got Bruce, Lonnie, Patrick Fellows, Khalid, and then Devin and Marcus Burnett also stood out as really good, solid athletes. So, Sammy, how do you see this game going?
Man, honestly, just the way I saw, Flag Defado, I was really impressed with their play. Like I said, yeah, they collapsed in the second half. It happens to the best of teams, right? So some teams just collapse second half, and that's okay. I mean, like in terms of like they're gonna grow from it, they're gonna learn from it. And then obviously with Dart, like I said, you can make the argument they'll probably have the best defense towards the end of the season. Like they're right in that mix in terms of their impact. And then Papilla, obviously, he's only going to get better, like I said. To be honest with you, believe it or not, this is the one game I actually have the upset. Yeah, believe it or not.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I'm going to be honest. The way I saw Flag Defado play against you guys, even though it was losing, I think it had me sold. It really did. The fact that it took you guys a second half comeback for you guys to pull it off, that's impressive to me in itself. The fact that essentially everything had to go y'all's way second half for y'all to win. Let's look at it that way. I felt like, let's be honest, when we look at y'all's game, like y'all did win it, but they for sure lost. I feel like they lost the game more than y'all won it, in my opinion.
Okay.
If I'm going to be completely honest. But having said that, I think it will be a tight game. Like most of these competitive games are, I think it will be tight. Honestly, I'm going to go with the upset here. I think Flag Defado is going to get it.
What score you got?
This is low scoring for sure. Defensive game. I definitely think they're going to look at some of the film. I think Bruce is going to start to unlock more of like what he can do at the quarterback position. It's going to be again. I'm going to predict another weird score. Let's go 16-14.
Oh wow. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
weird score. But yeah, I have Flag Defado with the upset.
Okay.
So let's see if I'm right next week.
So, what you got for this game?
I get a good matchup. It's like Lonnie said earlier. Lonnie, after our game, was like, if we're supposed to be number 8 and they're number 1, I think we're going to be just fine. So obviously we all had them pretty low. We had them very low in the rankings. But they obviously showed today that they're a good team. They can play. They can match up with anybody just well. They can, when they're on, they show for one half, they're a really good team. They just put it all together for 2 halves. They're a dangerous team to look out for. I'm not going to say they're going to win this game. I think Dart will hang on. But for Flag Defado to have a chance to win this game, in my opinion, I think they gotta keep the offense for Dart off the field as much as possible. Just control the clock, try to milk it all. Obviously, they have to punch it in as well. They have to try to control the clock. Because like I said, Papilla doesn't play hero ball, but try to force him to do so. Let's see what
if you can make him turn the ball over.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like try to make him get desperate because he's on the sideline for too long. He's just sitting, just waiting. But I think Dart's defense is too good. I think they'll get the win. I think I'll have them win by 2 possessions. I'll go 20-7.
20-7. Okay. So I'm really interested in some matchups here. Bruce against Dart, right? So
Yes.
Bruce plays Dart all the time. He's an impactful player, right?
Yes.
He is one of the best defenders out there. He was a nominee for MVP. He's very elusive. But Dart knows his game.
Yes.
Right? And I think Bruce is really going to want to win this game.
Yes.
I don't think it's not like he dislikes any of those guys, but he's going to be competitive.
Of course.
Right? Then you have Lonnie, who's always impressive, super versatile. I think one of the best athletes out there. And then you got Marcus and Devin. They got playmakers, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
They just got to put it together. I think it's going to be low scoring as well. I think basically just the nature of Dart's style, amazing defense, and then Papilla willing to take checkdowns and play smart. It's just going to lead itself to low scoring games, no matter what.
1,000%.
So I think Dart's going to pull it out. I think it's going to be like 18-12.
Okay, so yeah, very similar to very similar.
The way Flag Def can pull the upset is a Super Bruce game, right?
Yes.
He's making people miss. He's spin cycling. He's making 30-yard runs.
He's essentially playing the perfect game.
He's faking people out. But then you get one jump ball or one big play to one of their playmakers, right? I'm interested to see where Flag Def uses Lonnie in this game. Where can he bother Papilla the most? Is it a safety? Is it a rusher? Is it, where is it? But I think overall Dart has a little more talent. And you said, Lonnie said after the game, if we're 8th, we're going to be just fine. This really is a reflection of the fact that the league is good.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not,
Yes.
I was not joking when I said preseason, I think this is one of the best leagues in Dallas history. That means your 7th and 8th team are going to be good, right? It's kind of like the Western Conference in basketball. if the 7 beats the 2, nobody's shocked.
Yes.
Right?
No,
It's just-
literally, the difference between even I was reading something today between like the 2nd seed and the 8th seed in the NBA is by 1.5 games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's kind of how it is
Yeah.
out here. So I think both are good teams that I respect. I think they're gonna pull it out.
Hey, anything can win it. Anything can win it all.
All right, closing thoughts and storylines or questions you're interested in for week 2 and going forward. What you got, Sammy?
All right, so man, the song I'm looking forward to is. Do you guys have any like now that after it's only week 1, but after just seeing week 1, what is y'all's biggest takeaway from week 1? Like in terms of like where you think like in terms of the direction of the league is going at, and any prediction like any change of predictions about like MVPs or any like the yearly awards or like who can win it all? What you thought about it?
What you think?
After seeing week 1, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start with, like even offensive player of the week, defensive player of the week. You know, I feel like a lot of guys are in that category because it wasn't like people had like crazy like statistical days like in the past where like one guy was put up like 5 touchdowns and like have like 5 sacks in one game. This was like very like kind of like normal. You know, it wasn't like Madden like stats.
Yeah.
So I don't even know where to start with that, to be honest. But if I'm just to, just go for it, I think the early candidate we have is definitely Armand from the Titans.
Okay.
Just the way he was playing today, and the way like he led his team, made the right throw that he needed to. And he also shows. I played with Armand before in the Carrollton League. He has a very talented arm. He can really throw the ball anywhere on the field. It just depends on how far they can go this season with the Titans, but obviously I think they can make a really big run. Obviously it depends on Armando, and how he plays. But yeah, I think right now we would say he's an early MVP candidate. That's how I would say right now for myself.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think how competitive the league is and is going to be now every week. Like we did these rankings, right? And we did this like power rankings. To some extent, I'm just going to throw them out, right? Like I'm going to look every week now and be like, this is who we're playing. It doesn't really matter who says they're good and who says they're not. Look at the scores. The scores are close. The scores are, people are competing. Flag is up at the half. 2 scores against you, about to go in and win. Kraken's got athletes all over the place. Like Mussolini is gonna, I think, come back and have a strong finisher. They're gonna get better each week. So it's kind of take solace or expect the unexpected, right? And the results will be what they are. In terms of MVP, I think it's too early to tell. I think the guys who impressed me this week the most were Hassan, Daniel Tukti, and
Yeah. So my thoughts were, it was something I touched on at the beginning of this pod. Just when you think you know like all the answers, you don't know nothing, man. That's what this league and that's what football shows, man. Football is really a week to week game.
Absolutely.
Anything could change at any given moment. A player going down, or just like something miraculous happens throughout the game. This is the first time I've ever been a part of like a league or anything. I really felt like almost every game felt like a playoff game. I've never been a part of that. I've never seen that. I really feel like all the games today, and I think for the rest of the season, they're going to have that playoff feel. Every play matters. Yeah. Every detail matters. Is this guy going to come clutch? Or who's going to make the first mistake? I think every game feels like a chess match.
Yeah.
A lot of people have high IQ, experience. And this is where the ballers come up the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is it, man. This is it. Yeah.
All right. So one thing we're going to close with is this year we're trying to do a lot more stats, right? And this week we were all part of the volunteer committee trying to we're trying to get catches, yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, passing yards, touchdowns, interceptions, sacks. But we can't do it alone, right? So you, listeners, viewers, if you could stay one game in addition to your own game and help keep stats, that would be a great help. We want this to be a great product for our community, but we can't do it with just a few people. So if you're listening, all we ask is you to stay for one more game, be able to help us with either touchdowns, catches, or yards, and that would go a long way to improving the league. We haven't seen a league that updates its stats every week like this, right? You couldn't dream of that in Carrollton,
Exactly.
right? The Carrollton, you see the clouds and they call rainouts, right? But here, we're trying to improve and we're trying to get better, and that's one way we do it, but we can't do it without volunteers help. But hey, thank you all for your time.
Thank you so
It was
much.
a great podcast, and we'll see y'all next week.
Thank you for having us, Dan.
Thank you for having us. Really appreciate it.
And also, too, a pro side too, helping with stats and stuff. I mean, you'll be up in the booth, get a nice view, you can see everything.
That's true. Absolutely. Right.
Sir, that's
And
right.
it's warm in there too for the cold days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh
Much
yeah.
warmer
And the hot
today.
days.
Much warmer today. All right. Until next time.